Hey, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that every single homeowner, every DIYer, really anyone who's ever thought about putting a shovel in the ground needs to know. We're going to break down the essential guide to digging safely.
So, picture this. It's Saturday morning, the sun's out, and you are ready to tackle that project you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's putting in that perfect new fence, finally getting a real mailbox, or planting the garden you've always wanted. Sounds simple, right? What could possibly go wrong?
Well, hold on a second. Have you ever stopped to think about what's really hiding just a few inches underneath your feet? Because the answer might just shock you. And ignoring it, that can be a catastrophic mistake.
See, what most people don't realize is that right under your lawn, there's this vast, invisible network. It's like a secret web of infrastructure that's silently powering your entire neighborhood. And believe me, it is way closer than you think.
And we're not talking about just any old pipes. We're talking about the lifeblood of our modern world. High-voltage electrical lines, pressurized natural gas pipes, the main water and sewer lines for your house, and yeah, the delicate fiber optic cables that are literally bringing you the internet right now. And here's the kicker. Some of this stuff is buried just a few inches deep. Seriously, just inches.
So what happens when you just roll the dice? You decide to guess where it's safe to dig. Well, this is where that simple weekend project can turn into an absolute disaster. And the cost of guessing? It's incredibly high.
And look, this isn't just me trying to scare you. This is a real story. In San Jose, a homeowner was just digging some posts for a fence, skipped that one important call, and hit a gas line. The explosion that followed didn't just damage the house, it completely destroyed it. We're talking about a situation that could have easily taken lives. And the crazy part? It was almost completely avoidable.
Even if you get lucky and avoid a life-threatening disaster, the financial hit can be absolutely staggering. Let's say you just nick one of those fiber optic cables we talked about. Bam! You could be looking at a repair bill for $15,000 or even more. All of a sudden, your DIY project just became a down payment on a new car.
And it doesn't stop there. On top of paying for the repairs, you can get hit with serious legal fines. In a state like North Carolina, for example, just for not calling 811, you could be fined up to $2,500. The costs just keep piling up and up.
So you got to ask, why does this keep happening? Well, the data it's crystal clear. An overwhelming 90%, 9 out of 10 times that a homeowner hits a utility line, it's because they didn't make one simple, free phone call first. It just goes to show you, these accidents are not bad luck. They're preventable.
Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, I promise there is some really good news here. There is a simple, incredibly effective, and get this, completely free solution that stops almost all of these problems before they start. Let's talk about your one-call safety net.
So what exactly is 811? Simple. It's the federally designated call before you dig number. When you dial it or go online, you're connected to a local center. That center then automatically notifies all the utility companies in your area about your project. Then, they send out professionals for free to come and mark the approximate location of their lines right on your property.
And look, if you walk away from this with nothing else, please remember these 3 things. 1, the service is 100% free. 2, in most places, it's actually the law. And 3, and this is the most important one, it is, without a doubt, the single safest thing you can possibly do before you ever put a shovel in the ground.
All right, so you're on board. You get it. But how does this whole process actually work? It's way easier than you might think. It really just breaks down into a few simple steps that literally anyone can follow.
And this brings us to probably the most common and honestly the most dangerous question people have. It's the, but I'm only digging a few inches question. I'm just planting some flowers, putting in a little border. Do I really need to call for that?
The answer is a massive, unequivocal yes. Absolutely, you have to call. Like we talked about, some of those utility lines for things like cable TV or your internet can be shockingly shallow. We're talking just inches below the grass. Never, ever assume it's safe to dig, not even for a tiny project.
Okay, so here's the playbook, the 5 simple steps to safety. Step 1. You contact 811 either by calling the number or going to their website to request a locate. Step 2. You wait. This is key. You need to give them up to 3 working days for the utility crews to come out and do their thing. Step 3. Confirm that you've heard back from all the utilities. Step 4. respect the marks. Don't mess with the paint or the flags. And finally, step 5, you can dig, but with care, especially when you're close to those marks.
Now, timing is everything, so let's talk about the calendar. You have to call at least 3 business days before you plan to start digging. This gives the crews time to respond. And once those marks are on the ground, your locate ticket is typically good for about 15 working days. So if your project gets rained out or delayed for a few weeks, you have to call them again to get it refreshed. Don't dig on an expired ticket. All right, so the call is made, and those colorful flags and paint markings are now all over your lawn. This is where your most important job kicks in, protecting those marks. This is a spot where a lot of people with the best intentions can still get into trouble. And that brings us to the golden rule of landscaping in 811. It's all about timing. Do all of your lawn mowing, your edging, your major yard work before the locators show up. Why? Because once those little flags and paint lines are down, running a lawnmower over them can just wipe them out. And then the whole process was for nothing, and you're right back in that danger zone. So let's just run through that final safe digging checklist one more time. First, get all your landscaping and mowing done. Then call 811 at least 3 days before you dig. Wait for every single utility to respond. Go out and visually check the marks. And for goodness sake, do not mow or edge the marked area. Oh, and if your project gets pushed back, remember to refresh that ticket. You follow these steps, you're golden.
So here we are. We're left with one final question. Your project is all planned out, you've got the tools ready to go. But after all this, is your yard truly ready for you to start digging? That one simple, free call to 811 is the only way to know for sure.